Today's lesson is all about vocabulary for asking for and giving your opinion of a food or drink item. The first three things that are listed on this very short set of notes are three ways of asking somebody whether or not they like the item that they're having. So let's say you're having somebody over or you just made them some cookies and you want to find out whether or not they like it or not. These are some questions you can ask. Now, don't forget, we learned a long time ago the very simple way of asking, do you like, tu aimes. So it'd be very simple to just say, tu aimes les œufs, do you like the eggs? Or tu aimes le chocolat chaud, do you like the hot chocolate? These just kind of expand your vocabulary so that you can have more varied speech, and that way also if somebody chooses to use one of these phrases with you, you can understand them. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. If you want to ask if something is good, notice that the word order here is a little different. They have literally the words it is good and then you have to put the something after it. So if you wanted to ask, for example, is the croissant good? You would say il est bon le croissant. And the croissant would come at the end of the sentence. Notice also that there's an il and an l. You're not asking, is he or she good? That's not exactly school appropriate. Instead, you're asking about whether the food item, and remember every item is either masculine or feminine, and whether that item is good. So if you have a masculine item, such as le croissant, il est bon, with the first version of bon there. If you have a feminine version, elle est bon. So real quick, let's practice saying those. If you want to ask if something that's masculine is good, such as the croissant, il est bon le croissant. And if you want to ask whether something that is feminine is good, elle est bonne la tartine. If you want to just ask how is something, maybe you don't want to go putting out there that you were hoping it was good, you can just ask literally it is how. And again, the word order is all different here, but the word it there is either il or elle based on whether it's a masculine it or a feminine it. In this case, let's just go ahead and practice with a croissant. So if you want to ask if it, the masculine croissant, how that is, you would ask il est comment le croissant. And probably the easiest way to ask whether or not somebody likes something is just to say, how do you like it? As in, how do you find it? As in, this doesn't translate word for word either. Comment tu trouves literally means how do you find? As in the very British way of saying, how do you find your hot chocolate? Do you find it to be quite enjoyable? Which nobody speaks like that in the English language, but I didn't want you to get, or the American version of the English language, I didn't want you to get a false sense of what the word trouve meant. A lot of people see the word like, they're looking for aimer, and you're absolutely right. They just wrote it the way we would say it. So whenever you're asking how do you like something, you're literally saying how do you find it. But either way, you put the something at the very end. So to stick with our croissant example, you would say comment tu trouves le croissant. Now the important part, actually saying what you think of the item. Now, down at the bottom of your notes page here, you've got the two words that are in purple here on your paper or on the screen here, excellent and pas mauvais. The reason why they're kind of separate, not necessarily on your notes, but the reason why they look different here is these are technically not part of the new notes for this section. These are words we've had for a while. Keep in mind that the reason why there's an E in parentheses there is so that if you're describing something that is feminine and excellent, such as la tartine, you'll add that extra E to it, and same with the word mauvais. These are not new though, so I kind of wanted to leave them there as a way of reminding you that you knew this, but at the same time, I didn't want to make it part of the new notes. So real quick review, excellent or excellente. And then if something is bad, or not so bad rather actually, if something's not bad, you'll say pas mauvais or pas mauvaise. So remember, not bad is somewhere in the middle. Now, what we're learning in this section is actually the extremes. So you've got the choices of it's really bad. Again, the it you use is dependent upon whether it is a masculine it or feminine it. So let's go back to that croissant. If that croissant is really bad because croissant is masculine, you'll say il est vraiment mauvais. If by chance there's something feminine that's really bad, again, let's go back to that tartine again, you would say elle est vraiment mauvaise. A little bit of a pronunciation difference there between the masculine and feminine versions of the word for bad. If, however, something is really delicious, take that same phrase and where mauvais or mauvaise is, put in the word délicieux. and you're then again saying it's really delicious. So if perhaps that croissant is really delicious, you'll say il est vraiment délicieux. And if by chance that tartine is really, really yummy, you're going to say elle est délicieuse. And then finally, if somebody asks you how something is, if it's good, and you want to say it's not good, your words are pas bon or pas bonne, based on whether it's, again, a masculine item that's not good or a feminine item. And if you really want to emphasize it, you can add the words du tout, because du tout means at all. You put that all together, you got it's not good at all. So if that croissant, that masculine croissant, is not good at all, you would say pas bon du tout. And if that feminine tartine is not good at all, you will say pas bonne du tout. And that's it for that set of notes. Very short and sweet. This point in time, you've got a few moments. Go ahead and do the practice questions. Respond as if we were sitting at the table and I were to ask you these questions midway through you eating these food items. You can be honest about your own opinions as far as how you generally feel about those items. And if you've never had them, you can put down your best guess. As always, if you have questions, definitely write them down so we can discuss them when you come to class. And if you need to repeat or rewatch this video, that's always a great idea, especially if you'd like to practice some pronunciation.